will join us, I guess. Yeah, will you join us? Okay.
This one update like
Oh, okay. Inside. Okay.
few
Okay, let's begin. So,
update
Lilith.
bilang begin
Okay. Thank you, sir. So, good afternoon, everyone.
Yep.
Today, we'd like to start our revenue management meeting.
Mhm.
First, from the card update from VD's side, can you please keep updates? Oh yeah, the
Okay.
secretary is VD also. So please take a note.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. So there are no updates on Y0. So we'll
Okay.
stick to RMU0. For RMU0, I've done the workflow mockup. The workflow mockup is done. So maybe I will ask Lilith to first review the Figma flow. If the objective is still the same, to make it as one-time go as possible, and if approved, we'll go to product development and also perform market research whether this market building workflow is better than the one before. But the screenshot is attached there.
Yep, 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 yep. Okay.
Okay.
So maybe I will look for this tomorrow or 2 days.
Okay, thank you very much.
The proposal.
So the details can be seen in the screenshot, and if there are any comments, please let me know in the comments. Thank you. That's it for the update. And then, so we will go to the next card, Mrs. Chair.
Yes, please. Sorry, I
Okay.
just put your card.
So the next part is Lilith have requested me to add a new feature in the RM2, WRM2, which is property type comparison. And the why? Because will try to observe the change in the demand in the different property type. And I've done this also at last Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. You can access it from VD Sandbox RM2. So that's the update, and you can see how it looks from the screenshots. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you, Fidi. So, any comments from your side, sir, and also Moayan?
No, I'm just actually trying to follow this right now. So I'm looking at the mock-up on the sign up page. Okay, ID, sign up. Okay, cool. So that's the new flow on that one, and I'm still one card behind. And then on the new, just really quick clarifying, Vidi, what was it that was asked for the new feature on the
To compare the demands, like based on inquiries and also bookings for the property type. For example, whether villa is more desirable than guest house after we change the prices, whether it will change, or it can also show because guest house is for short term. It will and also be show as an indication whether the economy is getting better or not, something like that.
Okay, got it. That's an interesting thing. Okay, all right, cool. Thank you, Vidi, for that. And okay, that's all the questions from us. So.
Okay, so because there's no more questions, so continue to my card. From the first card, the D.6. Actually, this one is the most concerned card today. We will have some discussion. Last update from me and VD. Actually, we done pairing. I forget when it is, but we decide to use discount weekly and monthly discount for each, but it's mostly increase the daily rates, and I suggest to have some discussion regarding this. So I think we'll update it later. Okay. And then for the proposal itself, I'm still working on that. I have made the new Canva link, but I haven't attached it here as your feedback just now, sir.
Okay.
I will also discuss with Wayan regarding the template and also what is the additional information that should be included. The presentation deck will attach it later actually, but you can see my first version on the card. I have attached it already. Any question from you guys all? If no, I will continue the last one. Actually, there's no updates from the site. So that's the update from all the cards. If there's no questions, we will continue to the sub discussion. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot to update my card. Thank you for.
Oh yeah, yes.
No worries. Thank you for having mercy on me, Lilith. Actually, I have not double checked on yet, so I'll check on these and I'll get back at the next scrum. Actually, I'll just update you guys on Slack when I have an update on the people we've reached out to for data science. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Mhm.
Then actually, I have a question. Do we have to write it down when we want to have some discussion after the meeting?
I think so.
Video already,
Actually, that's a good practice. So that essentially, when
We missed this.
okay, when we go into the sub, yes, write it down. Either if it's related to a card, write it on the card for just having that engagement. So meet 10 and create a meeting marker on the card. Most of the time, meetings are to get over a friction, right? Like I don't get it, or I need to talk to you to get more information, or whatever it might be. So definitely write it on the card so that we know there's a there's a friction point.
Okay.
If it's just for a overall chapter discussion, just make sure you don't need to write it on a card. You can just put it on, like on the chapter discussion, and we'll talk about it then.
Okay, sir. Okay, Fidi actually write it down, but it's not complete. Maybe we will practice for the next. What is that? The next meeting.
Sure.
And let's continue to our discussion management board. Let me share my screen, sir.
Okay.
Yep. Thank you. Oh yeah. Before that, maybe we can review our notes first. Yep. Fidi, please share your screen.
So I will share my tab.
Yep.
Okay. So for today, we have short notes for Fidi. He has completed the onboarding workflow, waiting to be approved by Lilis, and then the next step is to bring it to product development and also perform market research. And also there's a new RM tool for property type comparison. And for Lilis note, they use monthly and weekly book discount feature from Tokit, but we'll have to perform sub discussion due to details. And there's also a new Canva link, not attached yet. New Canva link for contract, right? Not attached yet. We have discussed with Mak Wayan. And for Mr. Jeng, we'll info on networking via Slack. That's the update. Ms. Chair, actually, does Mak Wayan has a slot to update?
Actually, just contacted the owner in Bingin, and Bingin start to opening actually. And also, I already to ask couple owner to reconfirm like DD this place because they have the most inquiry. And Kembang Kuning already get like monthly price as well. I'll put it on the board that we have PD. And then I'm still figuring out like a cylinder rate that she gave me. I feel like it's higher because than the normal rate because I see in your board is expectation like 6 million per um, the number 6 million, but actually I still get 9 million. But I will have a look the RM to compare the daily rate and the price that we got.
Okay, let's put that on the discussion. Yeah, I think that's a good discussion topic for new revenue management opportunities.
Okay, so can you help me to write it down, Wayan, for the topics on the discussion management board?
RM this.
Yeah, RM this. So thank you for the reminder for Wayan. But if you want to have the card more to make it more organized, you can actually initiate the new initiative. Yeah,
Yes.
from under your name.
Okay.
Thank you very much. So I would like to continue to the discussion management board. So I'll share my screen. It's fine. First one, I think we have to discuss about the pricing first. Okay. From the pricing, from the RMD point D.6. Yeah. So I would like to for our my discussion with VD last week. Actually, I also want to share my screen and this one. Yeah. This is our new price list for not really every property, but most of the property that we can make the price list based on actually comparing to the Facebook monthly rate. So this is for the region one by VD. Could you please explore your calculation here, VD?
Okay, so we've set a calculation price for there's a function for it already, and basically the yellow one I've already proposed to contact the owner, and it's written in the Dropbox paper. And new info, whether you're aware or not. So yesterday, from Megalan and Idaman suddenly contacted Om Rafiq, and I think Om Rafiq mentioned me in the channel, HAR channel, that they have changed the price, so I considered accepted. And for Puri Sabina, we also contacted the owner, and it's also already accepted the price. So I think the price is written there, whether there are comments or not. It's already applying the prices that is based on Facebook. It ranges from usually 3BR is 15, 16, something like that. So it's already according to the price. But maybe the higher prices ones are still those who have who have bookings in these past months, like lot 3, lot 5, lot 6, as well as Rumah Pertama still has a relatively high price due to the demand consideration. For Malindo, they do not accept the price, right? Well,
No, no.
yep. So it's I marked that as red.
Still 3,000 dollars a month.
Yesterday, Megalan and Idaman is also marked red, but suddenly Om Rafiq mentioned me in Slack, and I've also changed it and applied as green. So that's basically that bit. Maybe any additional something to add, Lilis?
Okay, maybe I would like to add how this pricing works. And also, we need your suggestion from Mo and also user regarding is it the calculation makes sense, and if we all agree, then from starting from today, we would like to apply the price. So it's basically first thing that we done is determining the reasonable monthly price. For example, like the let's see the green one for the Villa Megalan, we propose 15 million a month, and then we would like to apply 50% discount per month. So we have to put the nightly rates for 1 million, and then we would like to give 30% discount for the weekly rates. So the weekly rates become 4.9 million. So basically, why we do this? Because we prevent selling the nightly rates too low, but we also need the monthly rate to be fit into the market.
Okay.
That's actually our reason why we contact this. Maybe Vidi, you have
Yeah, we can try to sort the monthly based on the monthly rate and see whether the prices make sense, something like that.
That sounds like a pretty good idea. Let's start with that.
Yeah, sort by monthly rate.
this one.
Sort sheets A to Z.
Let's start from the highest first then, yeah?
Yep,
And see
correct.
if anything makes sense. I just saw a few that don't make sense at all. Bing and Surf Left should not be anywhere near the price above of a villa. If you go scroll down, Bing and Surf Left is 16 million, and Villa Kyle is 18.
This one.
Any sense at
Yeah.
all? Yeah, that makes.
Yeah.
Is that Bing and Surf Left for a room?
The connecting rooms.
So two.
Two rooms.
So, yeah, two. So the room itself, I think it's about 7 or 8. But that's the connecting room. You consider as like a 2 bedrooms, something like that.
A shared guest house and a. Yeah, I don't think that makes a lot of sense. Okay, that's the first one I saw that was really weird. But let's be systematic about it. Let's go to Bahagia first. Bahagia is a hard product to sell. I don't know. Normally, it's so hard to get it to sell. We price it down to about 800. We're coming into peak season right now, but I don't know if that means anything this year. So peak season generally means a lot more group travelers. I don't know if we can expect group travelers. I haven't seen any evidence of it so far. Vidi, Lilis, this is just a guess. Have you guys checked whether or not we have any trends in group size bookings over the last 2 months? Are they mostly group size 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? Does anyone know?
I think it's the smaller group size, right?
I think so too, but I'm not sure.
Check it like that. So for in case of this Bahagia and the 10 bedroom or 5 bedrooms ones, it's actually the price for the whole villa. But if the case is if it's less than the occupancy is less than a certain room, it can still drop.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's like where do we set the price, right? What group size are you targeting at the moment for Bahagia? Are you
Yeah.
targeting a group size of 2, 4, or whatever it might be for the entire villa?
Yep, yep. It could be applied in the minimum. So the price could be applied in the toolkit one, sir. So like additional price for gas above this much or something like that.
Got it. Okay. The other one is Villa Olala's daily rate seems a little bit high for the moment, but
Yes,
I know.
yes,
Yeah.
because of the request.
Yeah.
So the monthly pivot is 18 million.
I know.
That's why it's 5.3. And yesterday she asked for the price increase for Lebaran for 5.5 million, if I'm not mistaken.
The Lebanon's over.
But I'm over, no?
Yes, Lebaran is over, but then she still asked for the 18 million per month.
Who's traveling during Lebanon right now? You did?
No one, no one. Yeah.
All right. So
Lebaran
two
over.
things I wanted to say about that. I noticed the conversation. If I'm not mistaken, this has happened twice now, right? And I believe it's a bluff. So Mark has come in on the day of where we ever get a deal, and he always says, I got a deal for higher than you. And yet they still take our deal every single time. This has happened twice now. The first time it happened was after Sergey was going to move out. We had that disgruntlement with Ibu Lily. Ibu Lily said, I don't need to take your booking. I have a booking for Mark for 5,500. But in the end, she took our booking anyway from the Indonesian group that came in, right? And then again, at the same time, right before the deal is about to happen, this 5,500 comes again out of nowhere. Not before, not after, but only after we say that we have a deal. Mr. 5,500 comes, but once again, does not take that deal, but takes the lower deal again for the second time. So then you're forced to ask yourself the question, do you see a pattern here?
First one,
Well, again, yeah.
second one, I asked the staff to verify. It said somebody came here, like, yeah, yes.
Somebody comes here doesn't mean somebody was actually going to purchase it either, right?
Yeah. So, but at least there is someone coming and check. But it's weird because I said at 10 p.m. Bu Lily asking, hey, is the guest confirmed? Yes. Nadine said it's confirmed, book. And then she didn't even know. She tell me, hey, there's actually some guests.
If you want to know, if you
yeah.
want to know for sure, I would say this is the best way to do it. Just set a probe prospect for next month. Say, hey, Bu Lily, there's a person who's going to buy for 4,000 a month, and see what she says, right? If she says, I've got a guest for 5,000, then you kind of know, okay, all right. Why is it that it's always when we have a guest, all of a sudden you have this guest for
Yeah.
5,500,
In
right?
that case, why don't you take your guest?
Why didn't you take your guest twice? Because you would have made more money each time, right? So I'm thinking it's a bluff. From just my perspective, it sounds like a bluff. Why do I think that? Because we see many more guests than Bu Lily does, right? We're doing we have a far bigger net, and we don't see anybody like that. So how is it that she's able to see them and we're not able to see this type of guest? So that's pretty interesting.
Right. Yeah. That's what I also thought. That's why I also sent a message to Mark. Right. Like if we assume that he's telling the truth, I was just asking like where does he get these guests? He said it's outside of Airbnb. So yeah. So that's why I wrote instead that it might be a.
So you
If
can tell
it's true, it might be a connection guest, something like that, or
okay. Does
or
he
they
have a
might
listing on
know.
Airbnb?
No. I mean, like someone who connects outside of Airbnb. Like it's an offline deal. Like, oh, I know this guy who are willing to. Yeah, something like that. So,
I find the timing to be the most suspect, right? I find the timing to be the most suspect. Why is it always this person shows up right in the middle of a deal, right? It's a common Jakarta tactic I've noticed, right? Like to actually when there's a deal, you ask for more money. You don't actually ask for more money. You say, I have another buyer that's willing to pay 50% more. I'll give it to you if you pay more. So it's not necessarily real. What's real is transactions, right? Whatever people actually accept or pay, that's real. What people talk about sometimes can be just negotiation to create the expectation that I should be able to get more for this. So it is a common tactic. I've seen it before, but I don't know if it's real or not in this particular case. But what I've noticed is that there is a pattern. This person mysteriously always gets a guest right at the same time, right after, not before, not but right at the same time we do. All of a sudden, Mr. $5,000 budget shows up, but never completes the deal for some reason, even though it's twice as sweet as our deal. So, all right. Number one, I think for that, just keep it as a kind of like a Heisenberg uncertainty principle. If you haven't seen the cat, then it doesn't really exist yet. It's both alive and dead at the same time. So, does everyone know that reference?
Yeah, Schrodinger, right?
Yeah. So if you see it, then it's real, right? But until you've seen it, it could be both ways until it's actually happened. Okay.
Yeah, but the question is maybe okay. So we have this kind of discussion, but at the real implementation in Tokyo, which price do we want to put?
I would put. That is actually a good question.
Yeah, and then let's say if we put our price, just like the case with Magalan and Indaman, put
Right.
our price, and then they check it and they call us unprofessional, but then they change the price down again.
Well, this is where this comes back to looking at the inside metric, I think, Vidi. At the end of the day, we're checking the inside metrics. What are the impressions? Where are the inquiries? If that starts going down, then you can go back to the owner and say, hey, look, you changed the price and now there are 0 impressions, there are 0 inquiries.
Yep.
My last discussion with Ibu Lily was about her flip-flopping all the time, right? She flip-flop, 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 and this is what creates all the tension around her property. And she flip-flopped again after we told her that this is what causes the tension around her property. So for Boo Lily, it's all about like a kind of a power game. It's like, are you going to turn left? Or are you going to turn right? I'd say the best way to know is to just send a probe inquiry. Hey, Boo Lily, we got a person and they want to negotiate for 4,000. Will you say yes? And if she says yes, then you know that she really only expects 4,000, right? Rather than that. But the way to use that is only after you see the inquiry pace start dropping. Okay? If you see the inquiry pace drop, you know that this is stupid, which, I mean, Boo Lily's right. Like, somebody was willing to pay more than what we thought people were willing to pay for it. So she does get her intuition serves her well in certain cases. You got to remember the psychology of Boo Lily. Even when she wins, she feels like she loses. She doesn't see the 40, 50 million she makes. She thinks about the 30 million that she could have made on top of it. So when you have that kind of psychology, because she's a gambler, it's really difficult to actually, sort of work with on a long-term basis. But when the gambling thrill goes away and you're dealt with like, I'm losing money now, then the rationality part starts coming back. So that's what you're dealing with at this point. Keep it at that, but to answer your question, Vidi, time it. If you see inquiries are slowing down, then that's when you come to me and you say, we need to change the price. We need to throw something Boo Lily ways so that she thinks about a different price. All right? But maybe she's right. If she keeps the high price and we get more inquiries, then by all means, right? Why should we make more? Okay?
Okay, so thank you for the Villa Olala and also what I've stated there, Villa Bahagia. What about the other properties?
Okay, let's look down on this list. I think you can rank this list now according to desirability given for a long-term stay. Okay, so just kind of think of it that way. What's the desirability of this property according to a long-term stay? And I would also urge a little bit of caution because the algorithm right now that you have for the discount is mathematically simple, but it is not algorithmically necessarily correct. And why? Because different properties have different relative values for short-term or for long-term stays. Mi Villa, as you know, has a really low long-term value, right, for a long-term stay, but it has a very high value for a short-term stay. So it wouldn't be necessarily correct to say, all right, the monthly discount should be 50% of the daily rate, because Mi Villa probably would be even lower than that because it's less desirable, right? So I would say, yes, if you want to make it clean and mathematical, that's it. And you can maybe start with that as an initial step. But reality is that certain properties are going to be more, as you know, as we all know now, right? Certain properties that are smaller, closer, and good locations, very suitable for short term stays, very desirable. But certain other properties that might not be very desirable for long term stays might all of a sudden become more desirable given certain conditions are correct, right? Space, views, all that. So that's like a general piece of advice I'd like to make you guys aware of. All right, next one is Megaland seems a little bit out of control, but I think you've noticed that too. That's been red marked. The first three, Olala, Lot 3, Lot 5, Rumah Pratama, Villa Ben. Okay, the first 2 to 6 are okay, right? Those are all proven, so we know that those work. Bahagia is unproven. We don't know if that works yet. So then you have to make a decision what to price it publicly. Once again, back to what I shared with Vidi. If you see that you're getting no inquiries from it, probably means you priced too high, right? It's not attracting enough attention. Villa Bening seems about right because in that area we are getting. I think Mark previously got that price already, so that seems like a stable price for the time being. Maharaja seems like a stable price. 4 bedrooms, good location, plenty of space. Itaman seems about right. Tortoise seems like a very cheap villa right now compared to especially all the other ocean view villas. I think that's a little bit underpriced just based on my. That's completely underpriced compared to Arindra, right? Tortoise is completely. Arindra and Tortoise are by no means in the same category at all. So either one is over or one is under on that one. Bahagia, okay, individually compared to Arindra, I could see maybe similar value. One is 5 bedrooms, one is 4. One tends to get a lower hospitality score, the other one gets higher. So, okay, maybe in the same ballpark. Kumbang Kuning is in the wrong ballpark. Definitely wrong ballpark, if that's for a standard room. It doesn't make any sense at all. You can get Villa Tortoise for that price, right?
Itu 12.500.000.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Either Tortoise is way too low or Kumbang Kuning is way too high. So I think those need to be separated.
Negotiate under 10.
Okay, good. Those need to be separated. Yeah. Okay, those two need to be separated. Bodas could be on the high side, but about right. NH residence probably. Those 3 are probably on the high side, but probably. Vidi, you were using quartiles, I guess, right?
Yep.
I think they're probably around the median. In terms of pricing, they're probably on not the highest quadrant, but the second highest quadrant, right?
Yep. Q3.
So like the first quadrant above the median. Kyle, Bing and Surflect is out of control, of course. If Kumbang Kuning is 12.5, there's no way that Bing and Surflect could have bring 16. But still 2 rooms. But that place is mediocre, right? Like mediocre service, mediocre product, smelly bathrooms. Not even desirable on a great day, but even on a bad day, even less desirable, right? You're talking about probably 3 to 4 million for a room there. So maybe 6 or 7, I'm thinking at best for Kumbang Kuning. Or for not for Kumbang, for Bing and Surflect. Okay, Villa Chantique is currently offline. You guys might know. They are open to certain long-term deals, but they are afraid of their own health and safety for this point. So they're temporarily closed. I would say the best way to deal with Chantique is just to bring them a probe offer. Say, hey, look, I just got you an offer for 9 million. Will you take it? And if they say yes, then you can publish the listing. If they say no, then don't publish the listing. Okay? So that just for a peace of mind. Dinar Hill is way too high. Makes no sense. Bamboo Zen seems about right. Bing and Ombak is where? Oh, inside the cliff. Okay, that could be about right. Bing and Ombak could be competitive, but probably also on the second quartile. I prefer everything to be on the third quartile. That's just me, because if you're on the third quartile, you'll start seeing where the prices are that actually transact. Or if you're in the second quartile, you might not see any transaction for a while. So it's more blind in terms of understanding what the market's doing. Okay. Japun seems, I don't know. If Bing and Ombak is 8, then Japun should be at least a standard deviation lower. Anything that has an ocean view. Japun?
Yeah. It's like a bungalow, not a room.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But it doesn't have an ocean view. And you have to
No,
still.
but it's like the beach is very close and that's it.
I still feel like if you have an ocean view, you'll do better. No?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
But you have to share a bathroom at Big Box.
yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. So let's see. Puri Sabina, still a little bit high. Puri Sabina, as you guys know, they rent normally for 200,000 a night to us. And then I still don't even use it from time to time. Right? I still feel like that's a little bit high. Maybe 6 million at most. I'm thinking for Puri Sabina. La Jolla View, that seems about right. 6 million sale price.
Raja you asking 9 million. So where did you get that number, Billy?
Yeah, that's the proposed number.
Oh, the proposed.
Proposed number.
That would be great. If they sold for 6 million, that would be a lot of
That's
value.
why it's yellow. It's proposed number.
Yeah. Okay.
Ah,
Yeah. That
because
one.
at the moment I get 9 million
If,
net.
if you got that, that would be a huge. What would I call it? That would be huge, Diddy. If you got that, that would be. Yeah. That would be. You would sell only La Jolla View at that rate. Private beach access, ocean view, shared pool with an ocean view. It's pretty kick ass.
Is that like proposed like monthly?
Yep, it's monthly. This is the price from Facebook, right? About 6 million for one room property. The
But-
safe.
I don't think so.
BB's not the same thing though. It would definitely be.
The actually asked me to like 9 million a
Oh,
week.
this is what they believe. They're never going to get booked at 9 million a week. That's crazy. 36 million a month. Are they smoking crack? 9 million a week is higher than their daily rate.
And also net.
9 million a week is higher than their daily rate. It's
I
stupid.
was like, what? Okay,
Okay,
hold
all
on a
right.
second. Let me see the contract.
All right. That's senseless. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's
hopeful
like-
thinking. All right. Basically, let's see. Alchemist. Oh, I feel like I'm seeing different numbers now. Okay, Mojimba 11 is a little bit on the high side. That's almost a villa. I'm thinking probably.
Mojimba a room or the villa?
It's only rooms, babe. They
Yeah,
share
but
rooms.
you can.
Oh, is it the entire property or just one?
Oh, the family, the bigger room one. So there they have the 2 standard room and 1 family room, right?
Way too high. Way too high. Yeah, that's a room in a place. That's. Yeah, I don't know. Probably not gonna. I'm thinking room on a property, probably 5 to 7, and I'm thinking villas between 9 to 14, 15. Yeah, 9 to 15 for a villa, and I'm thinking like guest houses 3 to 5. Right, that seems about right from what I've been seeing.
3?
3 to 5 for a
nobody's
guest
having
house.
3.
For a guest house, a room in a guest house.
I don't. Most of the in every that have a pool like asking for and half.
A shared pool or a private pool.
So
Okay. All right. 4.5 to. Also, the dollar is getting weak right now, so it's even higher for a lot of people. Okay. So maybe 4 to 5 for guest house, shared rooms with the shared pool, or private room with the shared pool. Something in the area of 9 to probably 15 for 2-bedroom villas. Something in the order of 15 to probably 25 for 3-bedroom villas, and it all really depends on inquiry velocity, inquiry pace. The more inquiries we get, the more you know that the price is right. The fewer inquiries you get. Yeah.
Sorry, sir.
Yeah.
Actually, before we continue to the region 2 for most of the guest house, my question is, we're setting this price, so our, not really assumption, but our current belief that they will inquire based on the monthly price, isn't it right?
Yeah. So this is the monthly price, actually, including our commissions too, as well, right? So whatever it is 80%. What? Who's calling who? Okay, wait.
So it's not really a problem to put a high night, not really high, but it's classified as high nightly rates for today, sir.
What's classified as a high nightly rate, Lilis?
Yeah. For example, like what? I mean, because we set from the monthly price, then we want to set 50% discount. It's actually can be changed, the 50% discount.
Sure.
But for example, we set the 50% discount that it will make. For example, I will open the region 2 for example for the Kancana homestay. The monthly rate will be 4 million, and then to get 50% discount, we have to set 270
I see.
per monthly.
Okay.
When we want to give like 30%, right? So it's only
I
100
understand.
and
Okay, I understand. Okay.
yeah.
That might be a constraint that's a little bit artificial though, because I'm thinking, all right, so the example, it should kind of fit the other way around almost. It should fit like, do we have to use Vidi on Toki? We can set a flat price. It doesn't have to be a percentage of the daily rate. Am I correct?
Actually, we have to, sir. So we just found out it's written in the card details. If we set the flat price for daily, weekly, and monthly, it doesn't apply in Airbnb.
It's only the daily rates
Yes,
that
we
apply.
provided the evidence too in the card.
Oh shit! I didn't know that.
Yeah, so yeah, we checked it, and so the in the past months or years that we use Toolkit and apply weekly and monthly,
It didn't
it
actually.
doesn't show. Yeah, we have to actually write in percentage.
Holy fuck!
And there's also a forum in to answer that question because Toolkit like yeah, can you please show the evidence list?
Got it. No, I understand. I understand. That makes sense because I was always wondering how Airbnb would do that actually, because on their system you have to adjust it by
Yeah.
percentage. So I was wondering how Toki could actually. Oh wow. Okay. So basically we have not had monthly rates for the entire time.
Yeah.
Okay. That sucks. Okay. Well, good to figure out now than later. Okay. Understood. Understood. That sucks.
Yeah, so the monthly price that actually VD that already decided before, but it doesn't work. Right, VD?
Yep. We have to set in the each property's percentage discount in weekly
Got it.
and
Okay.
monthly.
Let's go back up to that list again and take another look at it. So that sucks, actually. That's pretty shitty. Then, okay, if that's our constraint, then that is our constraint. Let's take a look. Yeah.
Uh, yep. Do
Okay.
we do you have any more? I mean, do you want to
Puja.
report?
Puja is completely wrong. There's no way that Puja, as a single
Yeah,
unit, could be priced the same as where's Puja?
this one.
15 million. Yeah.
Yeah, for Puja, yesterday I
So
asked
crap.
about the inquiry, but it's under red zone. So
Ah.
in the Excel document, it's actually marked red. So
Okay. I don't think that makes any sense
Yeah.
at all. Puja is a cabin in a not very desirable area that's just behind us.
yep, it's a
This
red
area,
zone.
yeah. Puja probably would get the same as maybe Puri Sabina, or even less. So as a monthly rate. Villa Rama, okay, maybe Villa Kanha. Kanha, I feel like it's on the high side. I feel like Kanha was more of a 7 to 10. And yes, currently the sale price for Kanha on the daily rate is what I would say is a high price on a. I think the assumption of Kanha at 930 is pretty high. Given the current circumstance, Kanha probably should be selling around, I don't know, around 700 or so. So see if we change Kanha to 700, would that give us a different? Okay, DDs could be about right. In the cliff, La Jolla 1 could be about right. Mujimba could be about right. Yeah, third quartile, third quartile, third quartile. Shankara, bit on the high side. Okay. All right. Here's what I'm afraid of, everyone. So this is sitting in my mind. If you don't get a sale, somebody else who offers a lower value will get a sale if they go up to the owner frequently and they say, "Hey, look, can you sell it for this? Give me a discount." The owner eventually will just say, "Yeah, sure, why not?" Right? Um, and we don't want to miss out on any opportunities like that because it's either you get in with your client or you get nothing and the availability starts rolling away. We're not under the same rules as before. The ideal exclusivity, I don't know if it still applies right now. Like everybody is really just looking out for themselves. So this is a race to the bottom in a certain way. If we don't get a deal in, then we lose that availability and then somebody else will take it. So that is a real risk at the moment right now. If we are putting ourselves in the third quartile, that I think could be really bad because then people will walk in and offer cheaper rates and owners will say yes and then we'll lose not just demand, we'll lose supply too as well. So I think we need to maybe price a little bit more aggressively at the moment. Like Chantik during, let's say, all those things around the 500, 600s, I'd say that those were during good times. You're probably looking at 30 to 40% less on all of that right now. 30 to 40% less on everything from Row, Didi's place to Kanha. 30% less on everything on a daily rate from Kanha all the way to La Jolla Biu.
I think Didi tend to get a guess because in Impossible, which
How much did they pay?
10 between 10 to 12.
10 to 12?
Yeah.
Okay. Didi we can sit because that one might be a special case. That could be one of the few remaining products. Right. So maybe put it past Didi, like number 31 to number 49. I think we need to think about discounting 30% off the daily rate. Because those daily rates, except La Jolla Bibi, which never gets 400, La Jolla Bibi generally gets millions plus, right? So, but everything else, yeah, I would give a 30% less and corresponding 30% less on their monthly rate then.
Mm.
Now, because those look like healthy season prices, and it's definitely not healthy right now. Except La Jolla 1 and La Jolla Bibu. La Jolla 1 generally gets between 1 to 1.5 million. So these two are not, I don't know why they're in this category, but yeah, they're a little bit more of a proven fact. Let's see. Yeah, that would look about right to me then, just based on my intuition. Normally, Alchemist gets between 600 to 800, but this is not normal. So time to like put it back, I think one measure below. Bing and Surf Left normally gets what? 400.
Which it with Alchemist had to be what?
Sir,
Check
maybe,
it.
maybe one more question
Yes, ma'am.
before we, reevaluating again the price.
Yeah.
For how long would we would like to apply this for December as our first prediction?
I think we can actually. I don't know. Like, do you see anybody coming back yet? Do you see a lot of plane tickets? Hey, the best way. Let's go back to our initial. Let's go back.
Plane tickets actually rise, sir, for December.
Oh, what?
Plane tickets to Bali actually they inflate for December.
Okay, good. So let's. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say. So let's look at the plane tickets and be the judge of that.
Yes, that's why in the discussion board, my topic is look at the RM stats. Can we predict the future?
Okay.
Mm.
So what about throughout the peak season? Do you see prices going up right now?
This peak season, no, but December it starts to rise.
Okay. What part of December?
That one I'm not sure because yesterday I checked the plane ticket to Bali for December. It actually reaches 1 million something, I think.
Okay, great. I think we're set all the way up to December 1st right now, right? So that part should be, I guess, unchanged. The Vidi, I believe Christmas rates are still the old rates. So we did not set all the way up to Christmas. We just set up to, I think, just before Christmas.
It's actually we actually set I think the decision last time was 20th of December.
Yep.
Right until before Christmas, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So before Christmas is like December 20th. Right?
Yep.
Okay, which is okay because the peak season never starts on December 25th, anyways. Everyone, Vidi, where are you on December 25th? Or where are you on December 24th, usually?
I don't know. I work maybe.
But where is your family on December 24th?
Can't remember. At home.
Generally, everyone gets together. It's like Galungan, right? Everybody gets together on the night of Christmas Eve to celebrate Christmas together. And then Christmas. And then December 26th, 27th, then they usually go out and then they spend holidays with their immediate family. So that's what we've seen year after year. It's been pretty consistent, at least for family travel, right? Now, if we're expecting couple travel or solo travelers, then that could be a little bit different. But generally, those people aren't people with bigger budgets either. So Okay, so we're good. We're good. Basically, the current price is set up right to the point where it should be, and it's fine, right? Essentially, it's a low season price across the peak season up until December 20th, right? Okay,
Okay.
so yes, Liz.
I think we have to continue to the region two, just like
Cool.
reviewing the prices.
Okay, let's take a look.
Maybe from the first. Actually, I'm not organizing based on the priority,
Okay,
but and also for the Whisca. Actually, Whisca want to close because the villa is used by her relatives, Olivia's relative, I think, and Olivia kind of believes that the market will be begin on July because she said that the airport will be open on July 3rd, so she would like to reopen on July 3rd. But I haven't answered because I think we need to figure out more. I mean,
plane tickets.
that.
Lilith, show them plane tickets. If you can show that the plane tickets are getting more expensive in July, then that would affirm that there is greater amount of demand in July. But if plane ticket rates don't go up for Bali in July, then that means nobody plans on coming anyway. So why should you raise your prices, right? Yeah. Okay. Whiskey looks okay for the pricing because normally villas are sold between 80 to 100, and that's definitely within range. That's definitely below. That's 30% below, I'd say, the regular range. Kanchana, that looks pretty cheap, actually. Okay, I think that could go 200, 300. Yep, those look all like 30% discount already. Rama Village looks good. That looks like a 30% discount from where it normally is. Mi Villa looks decent, but I don't know the desirability for a long term thing. So this is one of those cases where the short term price makes the daily price makes sense.
Hello.
Yeah. Oh wait.
Is my connection?
Yeah.
I
No.
Wait.
think it's connection.
Actually, it's
Yeah.
the plane ticket.
The
August,
flight ticket.
August it's at 1 million on August, and it's at 1,500,000 at December. So yeah, it doubled.
Yeah, I will check the
Since
flight ticket.
since the new normal news thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, sir. Actually, we don't hear your
Yeah,
comment.
because it disconnect.
Because it's just
Uh,
too much.
I understand. Okay, can you guys hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, the connection is really lossy right now. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, it seems to be fluctuating. For me, Villa, I think the daily makes sense, but the monthly doesn't. So, what do we anticipate? Do we anticipate there will be more daily bookings or monthly bookings right now? The list.
I think daily for me villa because
Okay, then keep
we're
it.
not seeing.
Yeah, then keep the pricing at that because we anticipate to get daily bookings in the current modality. So it doesn't matter if the monthly price doesn't make too much sense. Comeback is squashed pretty low. That makes okay. Dementen also squashed pretty low. Okay. Um, Kubu Masari, I don't know anything about Kubu Masari. I'll just say, okay, I guess so. Lolawan should be okay. Lolawan looks about right. Lolawan normally goes for 100 to 150, so that looks to be about 30% discount on the daily rate. Rakarai looks about right. Rakarai Villa looks about right. Pondok Kita, Pondok Juli, yep. Wow, there's much more convergence on prices in Canggu. Okay, Padang Padang View. Normally how much? 500, 600?
Padang view.
Yeah,
Uh,
30, $40.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay. All right, as a view. 6 million isn't out of control. SK9 a room, they look about right to me. Atra Bambology looks really good. Atra looks like a good deal. Pondok Nini looks like a pretty good deal. 800 is a bit high for Pondok Nini. I'd probably cut down another.
Which one? This one?
Which one?
Pondok Nini is at 830. That's up in Ubud. It's not a
Oh.
special location, yeah.
But actually, like that, always packed.
Okay.
It is 3 bedroom.
Okay, let's go with. It's not the size; it's the popularity, right? Popularity is everything that separates first tier from second tiers. Taman Kutu, I don't know anything about, but it looks okay. An entire villa for 800. That seems like a pretty good deal. Raja Sodaga, Sunrise. Sunrise, we might have to price down a little bit. It does not seem to be the correct type of animal for the current marketplace. The way to convince Ibu Claire about this is to check: is anybody else fully booked right now? Right? Is anybody else getting occupancy? So that would Kubunyanyang at 6 seems right. 16 for Belle Isle looks okay. Kondak Dayu, I don't know anything about. Is that brand
And
new?
the same owner with Bell Isley.
And that's in Uluwatu, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's the one that kind of looks like it. Kind of looks like Villa Kura Kura, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It's
It's 4 bedroom.
Okay, could be.
close to behind the restaurant called Baraka.
Okay, could be. That area is very popular right now. It's also pretty close to the beach access through
Yeah.
Thomas's Beach. All right. Wooden Puri, okay. Asri Village, 6 million. A little bit on the high side. Anything in Uluwatu, I think, should be. Yeah, I think.
Actually, for Asri Village, I already discussed with owner. I said that yeah, I will try 6 million for. I haven't decided the time, but
Mhm.
If property with price 4 or 5 million get booked, I already inform her, and then we'll change the price.
Okay.
That's the deal.
Okay, got it. Okay, all the rest look okay, fairly decent, between 4 and 5 million. I think we're reasonably confident. So that Labami has an ocean view, but a little bit high. Yeah, considering that people consider it kind of like a Corona center right now. I mean, that area has the highest density of all, right? So I would not imagine anybody would be very excited to hang out in such a dense place. There's almost no way to social distance there either. So maybe yeah, during good times, but I would knock that price down to maybe 350 or maybe like yeah, until and plus they have a lot of units there, so we would need to get some sales going. The rest look okay. Chapung looks a little bit high, of course, as we know. Whatever.
The gong, the daughter and the daddy still have discussion.
About okay, all right. Batajaran Hill, of course, is high, but whatever. Um, Kakol around 6 million is a bit high. No,
Actually, I haven't contacted the Batujaran Hills and
Okay.
Kakol.
Kakol is a bit high because it's next to a construction site right now.
Oh,
It's not very.
Kakol, I asked for 6 million, but I don't know is it the same price? Same. I tried to call and WhatsApp. I haven't get back.
Okay.
I asked for 4 and 5.
Okay. The way I think we can go about this is more algorithmically. So the way that I would say is if you do get a steady booking pace for each property, set a target booking pace. And if you're not getting that booking pace, ask for better rates. Okay. Back to this old system again. I think that works pretty well. If the booking rate is too slow, then tell the owners other people are getting booked and you're not. And that generally will persuade them to think about it a little bit more holistically. Okay.
Actually, sir,
Yes.
our result is when we get booking, right? But
Yes.
maybe the price can also influence the inquiries. For example, I mean, to convert it as booking, there's so much factors like
Yes.
after listening and after else.
That's why you're tracking the inquiry rate. The conversion
Yeah.
is due to HAR, but you're tracking the inquiry rate. If the inquiry rate goes up, then you know you're doing something right. If the inquiry does not go up, you're not doing something right. Look, in terms of how this is going to work, everyone, whoever gets bookings first will win. Simple as that. Whoever gets bookings first will win. So it doesn't matter if your first booking was cheap because you can still raise the price because you're getting ranking and you're recovering. But if you get stuck in a price that is not active, that's not in the active segment of the market, you will lose and you will stay there stagnant and your neighbors who were behind you will start coming up ahead. That is probably the best way to frame it to the community so that they get it. This isn't a price that you need to keep forever. If your booking pace starts getting better, your inquiry pace, if it starts getting better, we can raise your price because you're getting ranking. But if you get no signals on how you're doing, then you are not competitive. If you're not competitive, then you're not going to recover ever. So that's the way I see it. This is not forever. This is for now, so that we can start getting ranking again, and whoever gets ranking first starts recovering fastest. Okay, that's what we're supposed to do.
Okay, sir.
Okay, great. Lilis, this is part of the vision statement that I read to you this morning, right? So that kind of like is what we do. We essentially help people recover faster. All right,
Yep.
back over to Lilis.
Mm, okay, so for the pricing, I think for me it's enough information. What about VD? Do you have any more question about pricing?
No, I guess we can start applying the ones that looks right. I guess and to inquire the ones that doesn't look right. Time for today, and we can pass this information to Diba.
Yes, please.
Oh, Diba.
Yeah,
Yes, but I think
and
only the property that has, for example,
yes,
like
yes, yes.
yeah, region two, like the one with yes
Oh,
on
go
region.
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yep.
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
Uh, yeah, that's from the pricing discussion, and we'll look at. I'll share my screen, my other screen. The discussion management board. This one is from VD. First, let's look at the RM stats. Can predict the future. So just now we decide to look at the flying ticket price, right?
Mhm.
So do we need more discussion regarding this topic, VD?
Yeah, just like what are the actionables? Like what are the decision after we know that the plane ticket rises to 900 something, even on weekdays. And also, if we look, so this is I also want to discuss a little bit about how to read the reserve revenue graph.
Mhm.
So the reserve revenue graph, may I share my screen on the
Yep,
message
yep,
here?
sure.
Okay, so according to the reserve revenue graph, there is we're getting better on the month of June. It means that post 2 months of June, the revenue for that is more than April to
Nice.
plus April, May, and June, right?
Yeah.
So in July, August is better than April, May, June.
Yeah.
And if you look at Traveloka, it aligns with the plane ticket
Okay.
price.
Good.
So the thing to consider now is like, so what are we gonna do? Because December the price is 1.5 million for plane tickets, and for June, July onwards is a million. So it's double and it's triple of what it is during April, and the graph uh, follows that trend. So what should we do
Very good
basically?
question. Okay. Here, Vidi, let me, or may I try to illustrate a strategy here?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay. Look, this is a really great opportunity, and this is a very democratic creating sort of system. Let's say this. Let's say anybody who wanted to get ranking on Airbnb in Bali now has a genuine opportunity to do it. Right? So if you were, let's say, ranked at 100 before, and now you want to be ranked up at 1, you have a genuine opportunity to do it if you're still alive at this point. How? You get bookings today, tomorrow, the next day, the next day, the next day. You think about your prices as a function of how well you did yesterday, right? Not about like you're going to set the price once and that's going to be it for the future. So you take it booking by booking, and you work your way to climb up all the way to the top. And when you're up at the top, you'll get the most fabulous price. Why? Because you're ranked at the top. You'll have the most traffic. I think that's crucial to think about in terms of pricing right now. Now we're beginning to smell recovery, right? So this is where, for us, it's a game of how do we get back all the ground that we've lost so far, or we have maybe potentially lost, faster than anyone else. And that's key, faster than anybody else. So it is all really now about striving to get ranking. And how do we know we have ranking? Because our booking pace will start shooting up. So I would think of it this way. I would think of every sort of price decision to be reflected on the performance in terms of the bookings of a particular property. So the more bookings it's doing, the more likely we can get that price to go up. If it's not getting anything, then there's really no discussion about prices just yet. Now, what's going to happen is this. I believe that a very narrow stream of people will come through, right? Maybe a few hundred people a day even. But let's just make sure that those 100 people a day book with us and not with anybody else on the entire platform. Because those 100 bookings a day will drive a whole new type of ranking model for how the future of Bali will work out. So we need to get access to the majority of that. That is the only goal for long-term longevity and success on the platform. Now, what should we do about the prices? Keep the Christmas prices the way they are because those are promising. But for everything else, set, I think, near-term prices. Keep very careful track of the booking pace. Make sure we're not booking too quickly on something that we shouldn't be so that we don't accidentally sell our best shit for the cheapest prices. That would be a tragedy. Like what we did with Rumah Pertama. Let's not do that again. But let's not forget that the overall constructive picture should be our booking pace for each of our villas is higher than anybody else in Bali. That is the ultimate, I think, success goal. As long as we have ranking, everything is pretty easy. But right now, I believe nobody has ranking. Right now, I believe everybody is like deflated. So if we can inflate the fastest, we can catch that positive feedback cycle, and we can get ourselves back into the top where we can start pricing up and doing really good. Is that actionable enough?
Yeah, I guess there's something that like okay, when you mentioned that we don't have ranking, does content team have an actual data to like, oh, we have this properties list and ranking? Yeah, how do we do?
We don't know about anything with ranking, Vidi, from an objective point because ranking is only manifested through your booking pace, right? And because there's no booking pace right now, we have no way of knowing where we rank currently on any of our listings. So it's a little bit like we might be doing good, but we might be doing terrible, but we just don't know anymore because there's no data to support that we have any ranking. I would prefer us to believe that we have zero ranking at this point than believe that we have good ranking at this point because it's a safer assumption. If we believe that we have zero ranking, then we will most urgently think of a way to get that ranking back and get that booking pace up. If we believe that we have good ranking right now, then just the opposite happens. We might be suffering in terms of relative ranking. This is fundamental to how to keep this company at the top of the rise. If we don't get ranking, we don't get to the top. We might actually go to the bottom, right? And new people get to the top. So I don't want that to happen. That would be, let's say, the worst case. And how could that happen? That would happen if we're not paying attention. That would happen if we see other people are underpricing us, they're getting bookings again, and they're rising up, and now they can price higher eventually. So we think of it this way. We're going to sacrifice, let's say, the first 3 bookings for each property to be underpriced. Okay? Let's say we have that mindset. We're going to go in with the owners, and we're going to sacrifice maybe even more. Let's say the first 3 to 7 bookings, and we're going to underprice that motherfucker. Why? Because we're going to prove that this thing still has ranking. When it proves that it has ranking, then we know we're good. We did not totally deflate, and we're on our way to being seen again. Now, it's essentially like a sacrifice, right? You could be underpricing these particular listings at maybe 30% below the market or whatever people are willing to pay, but that's okay, right? We're thinking about how this is going to do a year from today, right? So think of it that way. Think of it like it is probably better at this point if the recovery is beginning to underprice everything right now, to surge up to the top of search everywhere, get way ahead of everybody else who's Superhost and whatever out there, because we're willing to make this initial investment, right? And then from that, we can keep our ranking and we get back up to, like, say, 110 bookings a day, and we know that we're doing fine again, right? That would indicate the final indicator that everything is good again, right? Now, the reserve revenue tells us, okay, great, we're not going to die from financial distress now, right? That part is good. But it doesn't tell us, like, necessarily, it doesn't tell us, are we going to do good forever? Ranking does. If you get ranking good, that tells you that you'll probably do good for a very long time, okay? So currently we have a lot of prices to set, but whatever we do, let's just make sure we get bookings in a steady pace so that whatever prices we're setting, it generates a steady booking pace. Let's not accidentally sell something too quickly, like at Rumah Pertama. So I think we might need some triggers to indicate too fast, booking pace is too fast for this particular property. And then, yes, we would need to raise the rates on that. But also, we need to worry about booking pace is too slow. This listing might never get back to the same ranking that it did. And we got to be worried that other people might be coming out ahead of us too. So that would be bad. Okay, so that's kind of like how I want you guys to think about the pricing. Don't think of it as like I need to win one particular room night. No, it's not about that. It's how do you win the rank and how do you win forever. That's more important. Okay? Is that clear? Yeah? Okay. Is that clear?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, Didi, is that actionable or do we need to drill down?
I think one of the biggest friction, and like I believe Lilith and Lilith also understand that okay, we should make the sacrifice for the first few bookings like that. But I think this is exactly why we're involved in the market building workflow, because one of the biggest friction right now is that there's a very high friction in setting the price of these properties, because it's not technically it's the partner's properties, not our properties.
I know.
So like if it's our properties, like it's very actionable and it makes a lot of sense, and we would have done that like since the beginning of this pandemic. But just like what happened with the deals.
Mhm.
So yeah, maybe Mo knows like when she chatted with some of the owners that I asked for help, it's quite difficult to get the approval.
Like
Yeah.
Megaland.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Ultimately, listen. This is what you ask. What we get paid to do, right?
Yeah.
This is what we get paid to do. We get paid to tell people to take their medicine so that they will get better, and this is how we get better too. You're right. A lot of what we tell is counterintuitive. A lot of what we know is completely counterintuitive. It's like, what? How do you make money by giving discounts? But it is one of the ironies of business that when you create value, then other people who are seeking value will find you faster and faster and faster and faster. So you generally tend to do better. But it's okay. Look, we're used to this by now. We know how things work, right? Airbnb does the same. They try to give us smart pricing tips, sometimes to our benefit, sometimes not. But it is part of our job to essentially be the market doctor, to tell people, hey, look, this is the strategy. Please listen, and you can do better. Don't worry about how it's going to. I'll if I can segue over to a different topic, I can talk about Vidi. I'll show you the vision speech that I have today, and I want you to see kind of what it should feel like to be an owner and what your relationship should be framed as. Can I, Liz? Do you mind? Okay, so
Yes.
the discussion I had with Liz this morning and with Wyanna was around this idea of, let's see, where did I put it? Comparison. Comparison. Okay, here it is. So, Vidi, in order to be persuasive, we have to share a vision. And in order to share a vision, probably your leader should tell you what's going on. So, what we did was this. Aldo came to me to ask for a press release that we wanted to release out to like TechCrunch and a few other tech blogs and stuff, right? So, talking about what Bukit Vista is about. So I sat down, I thought about it, and I wrote this piece. So for Lilith, she probably will hear it again. Mine will hear it again, but
Yeah.
I want you to hear this, right?
Yeah.
So okay, this is what should be. This is addressed to a property owner. This is our promise to a property owner, and this is what we're going to do for them. So meet Bukit Vista. It's a property management startup based here in sunny tropical Bali, with a vision to change the future of the hospitality industry. We're proud to announce an innovative solution that will simplify the lives of property owners and enhance the careers of hospitality workers worldwide. We believe that this application will find massive adoption in the post-COVID-19 world as the hospitality industry rises to a new future. Many owners of short-term properties will face a difficult choice when reopening their properties. How will I afford to pay workers when I'm not even certain of my own income stream? Furthermore, if you put managers or experienced talent on furlough, how will you as an owner be able to recover that expertise quickly? And even then, will old skill sets still be useful in the new climate of travel post-COVID-19? Bukit Vista has a simple solution that can help property owners get back on their feet faster and cheaper than any other current solution available. We offer hospitality management as a service. You pay nothing when you make nothing, and you minimize your labor budget with tangible improvements in management or service quality. How? Well, for 7 years, Bukit Vista has been operating on a subscription model with forward-thinking property owners in the very competitive accommodation market of Bali. We made millions in revenue for over 180 plus partnerships with hotel, villa, guest house, and holiday home owners. We train staff and develop hotel quality service levels for free. Our data science team optimizes revenue through data-driven pricing updated daily for free. Our extraordinary team of content artisans will craft and reiterate the online presence of our properties for maximum exposure for free. Our community managers guide strategies so that our properties remain as the most desirable and competitive market on the marketplace, competitive in the marketplace for free. A team of savvy accountants keep track of your revenue and earnings and work to keep your income stream strong. All our services are free at fixed cost. Our team works for you, and we only take a commission from the total inbound bookings. Big hotel performance without big hotel overhead. You pay for performance, and it's a fair deal. Today, the innovative Bukit Vista Tools team is releasing an app that brings together all the services at Bukit Vista in a clear, easy-to-use form. The app serves to give owners a clear view of their finances and the quality of service of their workforce. Zooming in, an owner can track every payment they've received and up to the last guest review for the housekeeper. Zooming out, and they can monitor overall month-on-month revenue performance and the performance index of their cleaning teams. An AI-enabled technology creates revenue forecasts. Complexity simplified. This revolutionary technology has additional benefits for the massive hospitality labor force looking for work at the moment. One of the primary frictions in this industry has been the enormous resources needed to find quality candidates. What if that could be done in zero time and at zero cost? What if you could skip the lengthy HR process of hiring, training, onboarding new candidates, but simply hire for services rendered, like Uber for front office workers, chefs, butlers, housekeepers, marketing teams, sales teams? The Bukit Vista app will enable owners and hospitality managers to recruit and find talent with the push of a button. The recruitment technology works seamlessly with our app, allowing effortless coordination and communication between guests and service providers. The finality of the experience, the guest leaves a review on an OTA, and the review is attributed to the employees involved in the guest experience. Finally, simplifying the very difficult task of delivering feedback to the right person. So, automatically and instantaneously. Reward and incentivize the right employees based on data, and with such feedback, it becomes simple and effortless to hire. Becomes simple and effortless to hire the right candidates for your hospitality mission. Can't wait to get this exciting news out to the world, and the innovative model that we present today will be a catalyst to bring the hospitality industry back on its feet again. So, once again, when we get, I think, involved in, let's say, we're in these pricing debates or we're not being able to achieve certainty, just let's zoom out a little bit. Let's zoom out a little bit and ask ourselves, are we providing value to our partners? Do they need to hire an SEO expert? Do they need to hire a photography expert? Do they need to hire copywriters? Do they need to hire, they don't need to do any of that, right? They don't even need to hire a general manager. They're getting general management services for free, paid for by Bukit Vista's very smart people here. So the idea is if we express value in that way, that we are looking to create value, then it is worth the price, right, to exchange for that. What are we asking from you? We're not asking you to pay us, but we're asking you to help us, right? We're asking you to help yourself, in fact. So just help yourself. Believe that this works. And we do. Is the strategy that I've said correct or incorrect? Let's go to video. Is the strategy that I said, is there a possibility it won't work?
You mean from this excerpt?
No, from starting low prices, waiting for activity to happen, getting ranking. And
it's I think it's textbook. Like textbook, it's works.
It works.
As I've said, the friction is like
Persuasion.
how believable we are and the influence we have on the partners. And that's why we're trying to be involved in the contract making.
I know. That's it, right? So don't doubt whether the strategy works. The strategy is correct. Mostly, it's trying to persuade people that it is correct. And this part is easy also too, as well, from my perspective. My perspective is fairly systematic. Now, Vidi, what did you get out of reading that? What did you feel?
Bukit Vista.
Ah, good. Okay, so you get it, right? That's the essence of the company. It
Right.
actually breaks down into structure. So that's the pros, but this is the structure. This is what I actually did. So what did I do? I introduced who we are. I introduced why you should listen to us, and it was brief. That was the introduction. The second part, I identified our community. I said, hey, look, are you sharing these problems that we are experiencing, that the rest of the community is experiencing? Do you belong to this part of the community? And then we started talking about solutions. We talked about general benefits, why this is good for money, why this is good for time, why this is good to make your life simpler. Then we talked about why are we the best person to talk about this? Do we actually have the capability and the resources and the credibility to deliver this result? And we talk about that. We talk about our history. We talk about our pedigree. Then, and only then, do we start talking about features and benefits. We don't talk about features because nobody buys features. People buy benefits. They're persuaded by benefits. This will save you money. This will save you time. You will have more time to do what you want to do, not spend so much time dealing with guests. Those are things that owners want to hear. So we sell feature A and benefit A. We sell feature B and benefit B. We sell feature X and benefit X. And then we close the idea. Doesn't that sound like a great idea? Wouldn't that work wonders for you? Couldn't you see yourself using this today? And then we give it even a second round. The second round was, the first was around operational features. The second was around, I guess, operational, but human resources. Wouldn't it be easier if you could just tap a button, human resources just magically appeared for you? So again, we talked about why that's great, how that's awesome, and why are we the best people to solve that problem. And then at the very end, we need a call to action, right? You need to ask the person, now, can you do this for me, right? Now, would you feel more comfortable getting a better price so that we can sell it and we can get active on this work so that you can be the best hotel in Canggu? And then let them fill in that space. The process of persuasion is very similar. It's just using this framework, right? Clarify who you are, clarify if you understand the person's problems, clarify why you're the best person to solve that problem, and then start connecting the feature to each benefit, each feature to each benefit. Once you get that, people trust you. They'll go like, yeah, sure, it's stupid not to listen to you because you know my problem, you have a tangible solution, and you've done it before. You're not a salesperson, you're a hero, right? That is just simply communicating what you can do. Now, we are heroes. We've done this before. This is not the first time we've done. We do this every day, actually, when we launch a new property. So now it's just think of it. We're relaunching all properties right now. We have to go back and we're relaunching everything again from scratch because this incident has essentially stopped the momentum in the market, and we need to relaunch again. Simple as that. Okay. So I'm just sharing that with you. I don't expect you guys to master that right away. That takes time and practice and engagement to get it. But if I give you a little bit more structure, I hope it helps you also frame your sequencing of persuasion and negotiation to be more helpful. Negotiation is a very helpful skill to learn, everyone. I think you'll find, I think data scientists say that a lot, right? That half of it is understanding it, half of it is getting everyone else to understand it and agree that it's actually meaningful. I feel like it's tragic a lot of times, like people who said, like Galileo, like hey, this is the way the world is, but the religious institutions didn't believe him, right? So like you gotta think, okay, what does the religious people want? What do they really want, right? And speak maybe sometimes in their own language to connect the bridge. So I know normally that's not a scientist's job, to do whatever, but unfortunately, this is kind of like where we are right now, right? So please do share when you need assistance with this. I'd be very, very happy. I can talk about this all day long, as you know I can, about how to persuade, negotiate, and I enjoy this too as well. That's why I, have my talks with Ibu Lily. But Ibu Lily's fun. She never gives up. She's like one of the most tenacious clients I've ever had. She will insist that her way is right, even when it's completely illogical, right, or irrational. So, okay. Anyway, back to that, right? I understand the friction is in the persuasion part, but please don't for a moment doubt your intuition yourselves. Okay. The reason why I'm sharing this with you is this: I don't want you, Lilith and Vidi, to start believing owners, right? Listen to owners, but don't believe owners. Meaning that you don't want to start thinking like the way they do. You guys have degrees. You guys look at data. Some of these owners, they've they're rice farmers, right? So you don't necessarily want to like think like, oh, I need to think the same way. No, we know the right way to think. It's more of a matter of how do we persuade somebody who doesn't understand that to think different. So don't compromise prices. Don't compromise your own decisions. Don't compromise what you know from looking at the data to a person who doesn't know and start becoming more, because they are an owner or such. That is not what we promise to do. We promise to guide people along, right? And when the guide becomes as silly as the person they're trying to guide, then you have lost your way as well. So okay, that part I just want to make sure, right? I know it can be frustrating. I know talking to people all day long and being like told, no, 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 I won't do it this way. But every time you look at it objectively, ask yourself, would this person be successful if I didn't help them? Right? Would this person be successful? Like Ibu Lily, would she be successful at all if we didn't intervene on her behalf? I don't know. I don't think so. I think that we can check that with actually the other case, right? We can look at Kathy right now. Kathy's in a world of hurt. Kathy decided to go off on her own, and her entire calendar, which is still on Bukit Vista, is entirely empty. So not doing good at all. So right, it is one of those things. So don't get persuaded by owners. Listen to them. Understand what they see as a benefit. Understand how their mind works, but don't believe. Don't compromise your own beliefs based on what they say. Okay. All right. So important.
Mm.
All right. So that being said, back to Lilith.
Okay, thank you, sir, for your sharing. Oh yeah, regarding persuasion, maybe I need your help with Katie for
Kathy,
this SK9.
sure. What time do you
Yeah.
want me to speak with Kathy? I would love to.
Actually, I haven't chat Katie. Do you want me to schedule the meeting first?
Easy. Okay, so I'm going to show you a link, and you can use this link any day that you want to schedule a meeting with anybody in the world. Here, it's called Calendly. Calendly. Calendly.com/Bukit Vista. All right. Sorry, actually, I'm gonna be a little bit more thorough. Oh, here it is. Calendly. Calendly. Here we go. So what I'm going to do, Liz, hopefully this will make life super easy. I went back to community. I said that they needed to improve on their scheduling, right, and getting owners to show up to meetings. So we're going to use this tool. This tool makes scheduling really easy. So all you have to do is you just need to take this link right here, which is owner office hours, and copy the link and send it to the owner, and they can pick any time they want, and they can talk to me.
Mm.
Okay? Simple.
Okay.
And you can schedule people like that every day. I'll talk to 100 people. Yeah. And come and listen to how we talk. Yeah. And we'll try to do this right. Okay. Does that work for you, Lilith?
Yes, sir. Maybe not today because it's already. I mean, it's already in the evening. So
Understand.
tomorrow.
And Lilith, I want to be even more helpful. If those times at 5 to 6 don't work for Mrs. Kathy at SK9, let me know. I'll create another band of owner office hours earlier the day, like maybe 10 to 11 or something, and then we can talk then. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Very good. Thank you. All right, back to you, Lilith.
Yeah. So it's pretty much for our meeting. It's already half hour past. So thank you for today. So the conclusion as the next step for me and Vidi to apply the price on Talkie, and for the owner negotiation, we look at the flying ticket price.
Okay.
For long-term stay actually.
Great.
So, thank you very much, Vidi, and you, sir, and also Mawayana. Do I need to ask feedback? Yeah. What about the chair today? Sorry.
Okay. Any feedback from your side, Vidi, for Lilith?
Mm, I guess maybe just ask around like in the first Scrum part, even though there is no
Mm,
card, maybe you're right to remind Mokwayan to write the like make a card if there are updates. But yeah, just second check maybe.
yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I forget Mawayan card and also James card. That's my bad. From you, sir, and Mawayan, maybe.
I think a lot of improvements actually, Lilith. So what I've noticed is that you are confident, you're aware, you're on time, and you set up a really nice stage for everybody to perform. You're thorough, so you cover the key points on each card, and we are. I'm much more clear now. There's less blind spots
Mm.
when you lead the discussion. So I think that part is good. Don't be afraid to hold me accountable for anything that I have not done, such as, let's say, my card. I did not get
Mm.
that done. Is that good behavior? No. Is that a value I want everyone else to learn? No. So you can point me out on that one. I won't blame you for doing that. That's my bad. And we're human. Sometimes we get busy. So I have no excuses. I'll just say I didn't do it, and that's it. But now I see that I should have done it, and I will do it. So don't be afraid to call people out if they have not done
Yeah.
something that they should, even if it's me, right? Especially if it's me. Especially if it's me, actually. Especially,
Yeah, actually, I forget
okay.
about your part. So.
No worries, no worries. That can happen. So I think that's about it. Now, actually, on higher levels of leadership, I was talking about onboarding new people. So I'll give you guys the update on that already. Vidi, I believe you interviewed somebody the other day, and RS told me that this new person will be joining the RM team soon. So that's good. So now it's a little bit different. We are going to be using some material that we have video recorded from Faris's onboarding to train the next person. So each intern should be easier to train than the previous intern because you should be building up some training supplies, right? So where does that leave us? The next thing that I noticed is how well do you two lead a new person, and that's the next level of leadership. Okay, so when you have, let's say, a new person, it's a new resource. You should see it as, yes, I got more hours and more people, and I can go after more projects now and more ideas. That's the way you should feel if you're a leader. If you feel like, oh my God, I gotta like take care of this person, then it means that you have not created the correct infrastructure yet. Okay, so it should feel like now I have more hours, I have more people, I have more energy to do things. I can delegate more things now to other people so that I can work on my newest and greatest ideas. That should be the way we approach a new person coming in. Now, I haven't seen your performance yet in this, but I urge, based on previous experience, to be hyper involved in the initial few days of a new person's arrival. The first 7 days, 6 days generally sets habits. So if they have bad habits, you're never going to be able to fix them. You'll be like, ugh, and it gets harder and harder because you've implicitly agreed that they can have bad habits and survive here. But if you are mean, no, not mean, but if you're very rigorous with them and make sure that they get a lot of tough love, right? That they get support, but they also get like a clean setting for what needs to be expected, then you'll see better things. That's just a heads up. That's feedback for you guys for performance that I haven't even seen yet, right? But just to let you know that's a lesson that I learned from previous chapters, other chapters. Okay, so great. I think leadership here is solid at the current level, but the next level is how do you actually lead new people, and how do you get the best out of new people? How do you get the best out of your team with the new people that you'll have on the team? Okay, so think about that. Think about good opportunity to practice some new stuff and upgrade your skill sets and and progress your career. So okay, done. I'm done talking. That's my advice for you, Lewis. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. So that's the closing from Jing. So I think we can end our meeting today. Thank
Okay.
you very much. See you soon. Soon.
Okay.
Thank you.
See you Wednesday. Yeah, bye bye.
Bye.